And so I'd like for us to take a look at that and so that we can adopt that into our federal list of priorities or look at those kind of things. So we need to look at that because that is what California is going to be fighting for, and amongst all its legislators that are there. So anyway, and so I'll make a copy of some of these things and pass out to others so you can take a look at that. All right, and that'll be my report for today.
Mr. Chairman?
Mr. Grogan, you change your mind?
No, but I was just wondering if you're doing anything Thursday night.
I'm going to have dinner.
Anything else going on? It seems like I've got tickled here that there's some event.
Would your phone go off or something?
No, there's some event Thursday night. You might want to make an announcement.
Yeah, Thursday night. We are going to join together and celebrate with Ms. Burns, Roberta Burns. It'll be her retirement party, and so and I believe it starts at like 6:30 or something like that.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and so it'll be a fun time had by all as we honor our retiring CEO, and after many years of service. And so if you haven't signed up to go, I'm not sure if tickets are still available or not. Are they? I know you would. I'm looking at.
As I remember it, it seemed like you have to. We were told that you have to have your ticket stub to get the paycheck the following day.
I haven't heard that, Larry. I haven't heard that at all. But if you haven't got your tickets, you'd like to go, and it is this Thursday night, the 26th, at the old Eucalyptus Schoolhouse. And if you would like tickets, you can see Sylvia's office. You can see Mr. Horn back there. You can see Ron Grassi over at HR, and Julia in the admin office. And so, all right. And hopefully everybody up here has done their due diligence. Now let's move on into item number 7. 6 was pulled for a later consideration. 7 is a discussion and action regarding approval and authorization for chairman to sign the MOU with Imperial County Superior Court for Security Services. Sheriff.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair, Supervisors. You know that we are responsible for the security at all the court facilities. This is a memorandum of understanding between the Superior Court and ourselves to delineate the responsibilities of the court and also the ICSO. So this is an effective date, July 1st, 2006, to expire June of 2010.
Are there any significant changes, Sheriff, from the previous?
Significant changes? No.
Okay.
I'll move for the requested action.
Second.
Sure.
Any other questions by anyone? Please vote. Passes by vote.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff. Next item being number 9 is number 8 was pulled for future. This is a discussion concerning to approve the use of cellular phones while driving county vehicles policy. How about that? To be effective July 1, 2008. As many of you know, if you don't know, you need to know, as of July 1st, you need one of these devices or some wire attached to your phone if you're going to talk on the phone while driving. Otherwise, you can get a ticket. I think the ticket is $65.
76 first offense.
Is 76?
And the text messaging, Supervisor?
That's not allowed, period. So,
The legislatures had to go back and add a little addendum.
yeah. And so there was a good article in the paper today about that, and people should be aware of it because they're going to be held responsible starting July 1st. And how are we going to deal with it with county vehicles, Ron?
Ron Grassi, Director of Human Resource and Risk Management. We're working, basically we worked with most of the bargaining units and had this policy reviewed by them. There are just was brought to my attention this morning, a minor change that needs to be made to be more consistent with what the law actually states. And if you read Section 1, we need to just add to that after where it says designed and configured for hands-free listening and talking, we need to add to that, and used in that manner while driving, just so it's a little bit more clear that it's not just needs to be designed for it, they actually need to be using the vehicle in that capability. And on,
Hang on a second, Ron. Now, the wording was, and used in that
and used in that manner
driving.
while driving.
Okay. And that'll be after or before the period.
Just after that period, after talking.
Okay.
And then on section 3, the second page, actually it's section 5, just to be consistent, instead of where it says healthcare provider, on the bottom it says medical provider, that also should read healthcare provider, just to be consistent. So change the medical to healthcare provider.
Medical will be healthcare.
And with those modifications, it should be fine.
Move for requested action as corrected.
Is there a second? Then we'll have discussion.
Second.
Mr. Root?
Ron, would you address the texting portion? Is that's in this revised edition? No?
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Okay, so Ron, is it prohibited in this?
Or can we say, subject to county council approval as to form, that gives us a little flexibility?
Well,
I'm not sure about that.
Well, I didn't get to read the paper this morning, but what was said about the texting?
Well, that was in a Sacramento Bee article here this past week. The legislatures, adopted language for safety, and part of the omission was the text messaging, and they had to revisit this state ordinance or law, however they had written it, to include the text messaging.
I believe text messaging is not allowed.
and so right now, my copy of this is...
Bob, if you have some information, step up to the mic. There is a bill working its way through that will add that. It has not.
It is not law at this time.
It's not law
Yeah, we
at
have
this
to bring
time.
this
It
back
will
for-
probably be very shortly
Well,
held.
we can be more restrictive, we can't be more permissive, so.
Right now, the way I read this, it says, furthermore, dialing in or texting while driving is strongly discouraged. So if we're going to change that, we could say prohibit it in accordance with state law, assuming that gets changed.
Well, let me ask this question. Obviously, this has to do with negotiating discipline. It's a segment of the collective bargaining agreement. However, if you violate the law, you're automatically subject to discipline by other ordinances. So why even bother let the state law, clarify what we should do? Because if you violate state law in your observance of your duties, performance of your duties here at the county, then you are subject by county ordinance to discipline. So why wordsmith something that's already there?
Good point.
I agree with that.
I mean, we can't excess speed. I mean, if you get a ticket.
If you get a ticket speeding, you can be disciplined, correct? In a county vehicle.
Yes. Yes.
If you punch somebody, you can go to jail and you can be disciplined. I mean, in performance of your duties.
Your thought process is then, is it necessary to have a policy?
Yeah, my philosophy always is you don't need a policy, because policies are always can be picked apart. None of them are perfect. So let the state policy, so to speak, or law. What do you think, Rob?
I think you're absolutely correct, and that was a discussion we had early on when the list is proceeded. But one of the issues I think that you hit the nail on the head, our ordinances do say that you are subject to discipline if you violate the law, period. And that's, I think it's key in that one particular section.
And the kind of discipline is governed by PERB rulings, has to be, gradual and so forth, cumulative, and
I think progressive.
I think I'd probably send out a notice with the paycheck or something like that, as we do to all county employees, that as of July 1st, just exactly what you say, use of cell phones and text messaging while driving will be prohibited.
Well,
As a reminder.
but that's already been sent out. We've sent out the law to each department, asked them to distribute it to the employees that drive, everybody out there. We wanted to make it known. That was done last week, and the week before that was sent out. Matter of fact, there was some discussion about including that flyer in the paychecks. The one thing that I think we need to include, and that I believe that we can, and we'll talk to Mike about it just a little bit,